Hello everyone. So in this lesson, we shall be looking at how we shall be using our MACD oscillator to determine the momentum or the strength of a trend. Okay, so let's get started. So we did look at this white line and the red line, and that we shall be using them to determine the trend of the market in the previous lesson. So now we are saying that we want to look at the strength of a particular trend within a particular time. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Now, due to the fact that we are using a colored MACD, okay, we are able to determine the strength of a trend using these colored histograms. Okay, so the first thing to say is that as long as these histograms are above the zero line, okay, then it means that the momentum within a trend is bullish. Okay, so let's take, for example, here during this whole period all the way to there, we can say that during this period we had an impulse move. An impulse move basically meaning an upward thrust within an uptrend. Okay, so we had an impulse move to the upside during this uptrend, okay, all the way up until these histograms fell below the zero line. Okay, so you can say that during this period we did have an impulse move, and then immediately when this histogram formed, okay, to the line which is below the zero line, we can say that the upwards move is ended. Okay, the upwards thrust is ended within that uptrend, and then during this period we can say that the retracement has started. Okay, not that the retracement is starting, but it would have already started because this indicator is a lagging indicator. Okay, but it gives you very valuable information even though it is lagging. Okay, so during this whole period all the way up to there, we can say that during this period we had a retracement. Okay, and then right there we had a continuation to the upside. Okay, a trend continuation tells us that the impulse move to the upside has started, and then here it will tell us that retracement during this period has started. Okay, so basically what are we getting from this? We are getting that as long as these histograms are above the zero line during an uptrend, okay, we can say that we'll have an impulse move to the upside. And then when these histograms are below the zero line, we'll say that we have a retracement that has started. Okay, so basically this goes on and on and on and on, and what I'm basically saying is that this MACD oscillator helps you identify the phases within a trend, okay, whether it's an impulse move or a retracement. So forget about those Elliott waves whereby you are forced to identify that this is wave whatever. That really doesn't put any money in your pocket, okay, because most of that is just subjective. Okay, it's very, very subjective. But when you focus on something that is quantifiable, like using your MACD oscillator, okay, basically you are saying that whenever you've got these histograms above the zero line, then we've got an impulse move in an uptrend, and whenever the histograms fall below the zero line and we are still in an uptrend, then basically we've got a retracement in an uptrend. Okay, similarly if we take a look at a downtrend, let's try to find it. Okay, so basically here we've got a downtrend, and then we can see that during this whole period when the downtrend started, we had an impulse move to the downside. Okay, impulse move to the downside all the way up to there. Okay, And then we can see that right after that we had a retracement all the way up to there, okay? And then unfortunately here we did get a little bit of a sign, okay, that maybe an uptrend would have started. But then that was invalidated right there, okay? Showing you that this was nothing but a retracement which was strong enough to cause this MACD white line to go above the zero line, okay? And there are ways to identify this, and I'll be showing you later on in this course, okay? So you can say that this was the impulse move to the downside, and this whole thing was just a retracement, okay, within a bearish trend, okay? So that is one thing. And then the other one is the colors of the histograms, okay? So for example, here when we have got the colors of the histograms being gold in color and they are below the zero line, then it is telling you that there is bearish momentum, okay, within this retracement, okay? There is bearish momentum within this retracement. And then whenever you see a green histogram, okay, a green histogram within this retracement period, then it is telling you that the retracement might be over, okay? This is the best timing that you ever get for a trade entry, okay? We shall be using this to take our opportunities. This shall be our trigger within the markets, okay? So basically this is the closing price, and this is telling you that the retracement is over. And as you can see, instead of having to wait until the histogram goes above the zero line, which will be too late, okay, in most cases, but you can take your trade very, very early when you have this green histogram, okay, at the candlestick close, okay? And then basically you can see that you did have your bullish move to the upside, okay? So again, let's take a look at this. Here again you did have the green histogram, and look at what price did. Went all the way to the upside, telling you that the retracement was over, okay? And you didn't have to wait until the histograms went above the zero line like they did right there, okay? Although you still have been profitable, you'd have been a little bit late, okay? Also even what you call it here, okay? Here unfortunately it didn't work out as planned, but then here we can see that the market did go bullish right after that, and also even right there, okay? And also even right here, okay? You can see that the market did go bullish right after that. So when you've got a bearish move like this downtrend during this period, okay, whenever you've got these histograms going above the zero line, okay, like they did right there, then you can say that we've got a retracement within a downtrend, okay? And then to check out the strength of the retracement, basically you have to look at the histograms. During this period when they are green above the zero line, it means that the retracement is gaining a lot of momentum to the upside, okay? But then the moment that these histograms turn yellow, then it's telling you that the impulse to the downside is gaining momentum, and this is a trigger for a sell trade, okay? So basically this is how we shall be using our MACD oscillator to determine the strength of a trend, okay? Remember, we are using the MACD oscillator to determine the trend and also the strength of the trend. Okay, and there are two ways to determine the strength of the trend. First of all, look at the side on which these MACD histograms are on. Okay, are they below the zero line or are they above the zero line? Okay, and then you'll also look at the color of the histograms that are produced. If they are green, it means if they are green and the histograms are below the zero line, basically it is telling you that the downwards momentum is decreasing. Okay, and then if it's gold, it's telling you that the downwards momentum is increasing. Okay, so keep that in mind when we now talk about, so keep that in mind when you are now looking at the entry parameters that we shall be using for our trading system. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this lesson. See you on the next one. Bye bye.